Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, sir, entrepreneur. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad that you popped in. If you're listening to us on the podcast, go to believemeachieve.com for more of my great creations. Or you can actually, if you're watching us, then you can just take your phone, launch that camera app, which I know you know how to do, point over to the QR code, touch the yellow ellipse, and you'll get my link tree with lots of great information to improve the quality of your life. Lots of great stuff to share with you guys. And do want to thank you for popping in. I want to thank you if you're coming back, supporting us for quite a while. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, if you're watching us on the replays, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight, or whenever you're watching us, thank you so much for making the choice to have Inspirations for Your Life a part of your daily day. Really do appreciate that. And now, without any further ado, let's get into our master topic. Well, we are, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you guys know this. We have been doing these things for quite a while, and I am very happy to let you know that we are over 600 episodes. Can you believe that? We are over 600 episodes. To be exact, after today's episode posts in the audio log, we'll be at 608 shows tomorrow on podcast format. So, we do a lot of great stuff, and I know that you are probably really inspired by the stuff we do, and that makes me really happy. But what I want to tell you is that we're in our series 2, which means we're in our second year. Show 18, episode number 1. Wow. And have a book coming out at the end of this year, early next. So really excited about that. So let's talk about understanding leadership. So what I want to talk about with you guys is leadership has, let's say, different flavors of it. So there's one type of leader, and it's important that we know what the types are so we know how to respond to them and we know what kind of leader we are. Are you an authoritarian leader, which means that you basically are always in authority, always in control, and you never can step down? Okay. Not always good to be an authoritative leader, because the problem is that you can burn out, and also you're never going to get to see how it is from someone else's perspective. Are you a participative leader? Are you someone that participates in everything that goes on, regardless of whether it's rolling up your sleeves to clean the floors, or to load boxes on the truck, or to help a promotion? Are you one of those people? Are you participative? Or are you a delegative? So a delegative is something good. So that's someone that actually takes the tasks and assigns them to other people. And so being delegative, I think, is really, really cool. But you don't want to get too far away that you don't know what's going on. So I think that's really the danger of that. There's dangers of all of these. Transformational. Are you someone whose goal is that when someone comes on your committee or your group, that you want to transform them into something better, to help them become the best of who they are? Are you transactional? In other words, are you a leader that's just about the dollars and cents, or just about the tasks? You know, every transaction. So if it's we put up 200 signs, okay, and just everything's transactional, but you really don't have time to smell the coffee or enjoy what's going on. You just see everything as a transaction. And I think that could be a little challenging for some people. I think that could be really challenging. And so a transactional leader is one that I feel is a problem, just because they don't really understand everything. They just see everything as, oh, we got to do this, then we got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. And that's a problem. Are you a situational leader? That's someone who just does things based on the situation. Okay. Now, if we think about all these different types of leadership, you're probably saying to me, hey, John, I'm not sure what kind of leader I am. Well, it's easy to find out. So, there are all them types of leaders as we were talking about, and an authoritarian, uh, authoritarian leader, couldn't talk there for a second. They provide clear expectations for what needs to be done and when it should be done and how it should be done. They don't leave any creativity, or they don't give their committee a chance to input. Everything has to be their way. There's a division between the leader and the members, and they don't really meld well together. It's like, you're on this side of the fence, I'm on this side of the fence, and you're going to stay there, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. And if you don't like it, well, you can leave. All right. A participative leader is pretty effective. They offer guidance to group members, but they also participate in the group and allow input from other group members. Okay. Participative leaders encourage group members to participate, but retain the final say in the decision. So they're a good type of leader. A delegative leader. So leaders that offer little or no guidance to the group, and they leave the decision making up to group members. While this style can be useful in situations, it's what I call pass the buck. And so no one really takes accountability. And then when something doesn't go right, they're all pointing fingers. Well, you were the one that did that, right? There is a delegative leader, okay? And a delegative leader, I think is pretty cool, because a delegative leader is one that actually, pushes things out. But the problem with the delegative leader, like I said, is that they always blame other people. That's the problem with them. We also have something called a transformational leader. And a transformational leader is often identified as the single most effective style, but the style first came about in the 1970s. And transformational leaders are able to motivate and inspire followers and direct positive changes in the group. So, in other words, they get the group to do what they want, but making it seem like it's their ideas. Pretty ingenious, right? You have the transactional leadership. Uh, this is a person that is just transactional and focused only on that. The main advantage of this leadership style is that it creates clearly defined roles, and people know what they're required to do and what they'll be receiving in exchange for it. It's all about a transaction. A situational leader, this is important because it influences the person based on the environment and the situation on the leadership. Hershey and Blanchard leadership styles is one of the best known situational theories, first published in 1969. And this model describes four primary styles I want to talk about. One is the telling people what to do; selling, convincing followers to buy into their ideas and messages; participating, allowing group members to take a more active role in the decision-making process; and delegating, taking a hands-off approach to leadership and allowing group members to make the majority of decisions. Then we have, when we think about this type of leadership, I think one of the things that's important is you have to realize that it can also get involved with directing, giving orders, helping people understand, coaching, giving orders, but also there to mentor with all types of support. Supporting, offering plenty of help, but maybe not a lot of direction. So the kind of leadership that I like the most, I like a combination of the delegative. However, I like the fact of having delegative with a transformational, because when people see that they're making changes, it inspires them to want to do more, right? We said this many times before in the program, is that people only do things for two reasons: to avoid pain and to gain pleasure. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only reason that people actually do things: to avoid pain and gain pleasure. That's why our hospitals are so extremely busy, because people want to get out of pain. I would think more people would want to focus on getting into pleasure, wouldn't you? I don't know. That's something that I think is just kind of a little crazy. But I'll tell you that leadership is something that is very paramount. And if we don't understand who our leader is and what they're doing, and we don't pick the right types of leaders, I think we might have a problem as to, what's going to get done. Um, you might be blaming people for doing something, but it's really not anybody's fault. But the leader is the one that gets the resources of the group to work together. If people aren't working together, generally it's because we don't have a good leader. You could have the greatest people that want to help, that want to do things, but if you don't have a good leader, if the leader can't give them a vision, let me give an example. Let's say we are going to, I don't know, we're going to do something really simple. Maybe we're going to build, or we're going to paint a house. Okay. And we're going to paint the house. We have to start with certain things. We have to go with the colors. We have to do primer. We have to start with the, let's say the top first, let that dry, then do the bottom. Otherwise, if we did the bottom first and then the top, then it would get all over and it'd be a mess. So I think we have to understand what a leadership style is. And then once we understand a leadership style, we can adapt. But I don't think we should be doing a hands-off approach. Okay. A hands-off approach is interesting, but I don't think it's probably the best thing. And the reason it's not the best is that if you're hands off, how will you ever know what's going on? Right? I've been on lots of committees before, some where I was a main person, other times I was a sub to the committee, other times I was on a subcommittee. And the whole thing about these committees or being in groups or organizations or working on a team is you've got to communicate effectively. Now, you don't communicate just when there's a problem. You don't communicate when you feel like it. You don't communicate because it just seems like you have to. Or you don't communicate because you don't know what you're doing. And that's one reason, but you should be communicating all the time. And so the whole point about communication is so that everyone can be held accountable. I've been in groups before and somebody didn't remember to bring something. Now, I always tried to think ahead to bring what I thought would be needed, even if somebody would forget. But suppose I wasn't there all the time, or suppose I wasn't on that committee. Then there might not be someone like me that thinks ahead and says, oh, gee, I got to bring this, I got to bring that, right? So leadership is important, whether we're talking about our personal lives, whether we're talking about our business lives, right? Leadership is the ability to take your personality and other people's personalities and get them to work together for a common goal. Sometimes there's a small gap between what you want and what they want and getting to do it. Other times that gap is big. Other times it's really large. So what a leader does is motivates the team so they can take this big gap, bring. So pretty sure we're right here, and then we're like right here, and then pretty much just like right there, and it's just like a push, and they're ready to do things. But a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, well, if you don't do this right, then I'm going to remove you from the team. That's not a great way. Or even in a business office, if you don't understand something, you shouldn't get fired. They should tell you what it is, right? But a lot of managers, CEOs, C-level executives, they believe that you should just come in knowing everything. And that's preposterous because you can't know everything. You can't know everybody's environment. You can't know how to do something. Maybe you've never worked for, I don't know, a pharmaceutical company before, but you've worked for other companies and they have a different process. And I feel getting people to understand what you expect of them is number one, right? And then finding out what do they expect of you? Well, I expect someone to give me clear directions, to tell me what needs to be done, and someone that allow me to use my creativity to work within the boundaries to get what the team leader wants done. Now, that's a very interesting style. Some people will only work on a team where there's an authoritative person, because they just see things as black and white. I can work with anyone. So it doesn't matter what you want. It's a matter of me adapting so I can bridge that gap and say, okay, this is where you are today. This is where I am. I'm on Antarctica. You're over here in Hawaii, right? We need to bring ourselves together. Now you're in New York. I'm in New Jersey. Okay. Now let's say in Bergen County and you're in Essex County. We're getting closer. All right. I'm in Bergen County. Okay. Let's say I'm in Franklin Lakes, where I am. Now you're in Bergen County and you are in, let's say, Paramus. We're getting closer. Now, if you're in Paramus, I'm in Franklin Lakes. Now, if I'm in Franklin Lakes, and now let's say you're in Wyckoff, we're getting closer. I'm in Franklin Lakes. Now you're in Franklin Lakes. I'm at Dog Trail in Franklin Lakes, but you're on Franklin Ave, so we got to get closer pretty soon, and we're right there, and we made a connection. So I think team members get frustrated because they don't necessarily know how to do something. The why doesn't always elude people. It's the how. They worry that they're going to be able to do what the team wants, and that's sometimes why they don't join a team. So I always tell people, look, I don't care if you've ever been involved with swimming before. I don't care if you've ever been in racing or if you've ever been in promotion before. Don't worry, because I'm going to go through exactly the steps you need to do. I'm going to make it really simple. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask me today or anytime. Making people feel comfortable is a really good, trait of a leader. And we're going to talk about a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you this fantastic evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the video, comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share this out with everyone you know on social media. Go to my YouTube channel, John Space C Space Emerald Y Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase to help keep your content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a savory plate of a nice dessert. Either way, we'll be grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you those jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you to change your life. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready because we just launched at Orbital Media our first annual Battle of the Bands. So if you're in school or you're a musician that aspires and would like to get your music out there to the public and to some other people that might eventually cast you, you definitely want to check us out. Go to orbitalmediaevents.eventbrite.com. If you're in a band or a solo, it's just $10 per band member. And it's only $20 if you want to come and support them. And it's $15 if you want to come virtually. So check that out. It's on June 24, 2023. It's our first annual. We're looking to get a lot of great people, a lot of good bands, to listen to some great music, to have fun, and to pick 3 great winners. First place, second place, third place. Have yourself an amazing evening, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.